with the intent of selling it onto the market, you're engaged in business. When I go to the grocery, I'm not engaged in commerce. I don't need a driver's license in reality. I'm not engaged in commerce. I'm going there because I want to live. I don't need a permit from you to move to the grocery store, even though everybody believes it. It's not true. And in combination of the next one, and that proves exactly my point, I don't need to deal with ICBC when I want to go to the grocery store. Fundamental freedom, Article 2. Everyone has the following fundamental freedom. Freedom of conscience, religion, thought, belief, opinion, expression, including the freedom of press and other media communication, which is what you're doing here by broadcasting on Facebook. Freedom of peaceful assembly, which is exactly what you're doing here, and freedom of association. You want nothing to do with me? Grab the door. Because I've rented this place, I'm the one who paid for it with the help of my friend. Not to sing a Beatles song, but anyway. I'm not here for a rock concert, even though I prefer to do that, but anyway. So this is how it works, ladies and gentlemen, and it's not the government who limits your freedom in any way, shape or form, and even if it's not written in there, I also have the right to enjoy my property, I also have the right to breathe fresh air, to drink clean water, to clean my eyes, to have my heartbeat. What if they say you don't have the right to a heartbeat? Is that not insanity? The rule that they write in there applies only to them, so if a fundamental freedom is overpowered by them, it is illegal. You will always have the freedom of assembly. Even if they call your assembly, oh, it's unlawful, illegal, what do I care about you? You're a cop. Am I disturbing traffic? No. I'm sitting here on the sidewalk with three of my friends. Who are you? You're disturbing my freedom. I don't want anything to do with you. You're a corporation entity. Get about your way. Move on. You're blocking traffic. Because it applies to them. And that's the main problem people believe. Oh, I believe the cops as authority. I got good news for you. It's not true. I was in court so many times and facing the Crown Prosecutor, which is no Crown Prosecutor, she said, you have to obey the police. I said, look at me. Do I look like a police? Do they pay me? Am I working for them? I don't obey police. At all. Screw them. The day they will give me a wage per week, with a set amount that I agree for, they give me my duty list, a place to work, a boss to report to, all the tools that I need to be a police, I probably will be a police. Because I wear the uniform in the morning and they provided the boot, they provide the car, the gun, whatever they provide. And the bullshit. Here's one of the most powerful statements that we had, and I told you I went to court several times. I went to court with other people as well. Angèle can vow about it. She talked about it. But I also went to court with Paul Leblanc, and one day he was just crying. He knew he would have his house taken by them, and I'll not get into that because we're not expanding on his case. But I'm gonna provide with you a little excerpt from it. In the case of Paul Leblanc, following the grand jury, a judge in Quebec Superior Court, Jean-François Michaud, not to name it, a criminal, made a startling admission. We asked him, and I was behind the questioning, right, because Paul was, I said to him, what I'm about to say, to prove that the Quebec legislature, otherwise known as the Criminal National Assembly, and the legal system was legitimate, lawful, and constitutional. The judge replied that he was not going to be able to prove it to us, and that nobody in the courthouse would be able to prove it. He said to ask the grand jury about the constitutional and lawful issue, which we already did. So he was screwed. I don't ask questions for which I don't have the answer. That's as simple as that. And to prove it, is this the next one?
Yep, there's a video here.
Alright, so most of you don't speak English, but we have enough French speakers here, and you're going to see them nod their head if that is true what I just said. Paul, you'll be one of them, Angèle, Denis, Carl, and Régent can all also, and sorry, Miss Roland here, can also, so play the clip please.
So we're going to play 1 minute at the beginning and then...
1 minute at the beginning to prove where we were, that it was Paul Leblanc's cause. You get the number if you want to check it, and then we're going to skip to another part of it. Have fun. It is, where's Carl when we need it? You're the only one who hears it. Can you raise the volume on this?
Uh-oh.
No, you must.
No, you have to go at that little square there. There in the far right. No, it was pretty loud.
We're not getting the sound from this one.
It's up there too. What about that keyboard thing that he has there? Is that part of the patchwork? Should we go fight Carl?
Okay, maybe we should stop the recording for a minute.
Hold on. Restart it.
Donc, Monsieur Leblanc, c'est pris. La convoque à l'audience. Merci de s'asseoir. Merci bien. Donc, dans le dossier de Pierre Desjardins, le stade de montagne contre Paul Leblanc, demandons au procureur et à Monsieur de silencier, s'il vous plaît. Alors, les pastarages de l'étude pastarage avocat pour la demande. Pastarage. Monsieur, vous l'avez, s'il vous plaît. Vous vous représentez seul? Merci beaucoup. Après ça, avec vous, on va tout gérer ça, M. Leblanc, ce ne sera pas bien long. Je vais juste écouter une pastarage pour avoir une idée du dossier, puis après ça, je vais vous écouter. Alors, Monsieur le juge, il s'agit d'une requête en délaissement forcé pour vente du contour de justice. La requête était présentable le 29 octobre. Quelques jours avant, le 29 octobre, j'ai inscrit par défaut parce qu'il n'y avait pas un défaut il n'y avait pas de compaction.
Alright, I'm gonna make a comment here. So you notice that for those who speak French, of course, that the judge asked for the party to identify the lawyer duly identify as a lawyer from a private lawyer firm, and my friend Paul never identified himself. So
Now you want to go to
now to 30 minutes. I'm sorry about the sound. I just remember now it is like that. They try to screw us on the sound, so the bass is high because they don't want us to provide you with this information.
En attendant, je vais régler un autre dossier. Si vous voulez juste attendre sur une autre chaise, puis on va finaliser la date au procès verbal. Si je peux vous poser la question. Pour ce qui est, puis c'est rien personnel, donc j'imagine, pour ce qui est de connaître la légalité de la Cour, je peux pas vous le conseiller là-dessus. Ben ça c'est, regardez, je peux pas vous conseiller. Il y a sûrement quelqu'un qui demandez au tribunal de... Non, je m'adresse à ce tribunal-ci. Moi, je ne peux pas vous aider là-dessus. Malheureusement, c'est hors de mes fonctions. Donc, est-ce qu'il y a quelqu'un ici dans la... Je ne penserais pas. Aujourd'hui, je ne penserais pas. Moi, ce que je vous invite, c'est consulter Internet, consulter un avocat, consulter un juriste. Mais moi, aujourd'hui, c'est pas mon rôle de vous expliquer ça. Ben, c'est que j'ai eu les explications d'un ex-membre du Montréal qui nous a clairement dit que la législature du Québec est inconstitutionnellement... continuez à lui parler. Ben, moi, je ne peux pas vous aider davantage là-dessus. Oui, mais là, j'aimerais avoir des preuves de ceux qui allèguent la juridiction. Demandez à cette personne-là. Non, on n'est plus membre du Bureau. Regardez, M. Leblanc, moi, je dois gérer, là, j'ai d'autres dossiers. Là. Ben, je comprends, mais moi, j'ai fait comme ces gens-là, j'ai attendu. Tout à fait. Là, je suis là, je demande des questions. Je ne peux pas y répondre à ces questions. Et qui peut m'aider? Je ne sais pas. Je ne sais pas demander à cet ancien avocat. Moi, non, mais c'est parce que... Je n'ai pas réponse à tout, M. Leblanc. Je n'ai pas cette réponse. C'est hors de mes connaissances. Donc, si je viens ici, il y a quelqu'un au palais de justice qui va être sur ma... Moi, je n'en connais pas. Je ne connais personne au palais de justice qui peut vous répondre là-dessus. Il n'y a personne au palais de justice qui est en mesure... Moi, je n'en connais pas. Moi, je n'en connais pas. C'est juste ça que je vous dis. Écoutez, je trouve ça quand même aberrant qu'un juge de la supérieure me dise...
Any comments? So the judge from the Superior Court...
The judge is sliding.
Yeah, he was just avoiding the question.
I can't
He has no right. Well, no, he answered.
He
Nobody at the courthouse can answer about if the court is legitimate, legal, or constitutional. Not even himself, because they are not, and he doesn't want to. He knows he's being entrapped by Paul. He knows it's a tricky question. As soon as the judge say, "I'm not constitutional, I'm not legal," who are you? Who are you? What am I doing here? You're not a judge. He's obviously not a lawyer. This guy's obviously not a cop. Basically, you're all liars. So goodbye. I'm going home. I'm not about to pay the rent. Because, by the way, the mortgage are all illegal. Want to know about the law about Desjardins? How they got formed? It's a private law in front of an illegal structure. They have no say. They're the biggest business in Quebec. The biggest lender. The biggest bank with the most branch. They're illegal. What does it do to Quebec's economy if we take out Desjardins? They're out for the count. Michel Lebrun, a national hero. Former Quebec Bar Association lawyer. Former crook too. But yeah, he took on them several times and could never ever get anything done because he was basing his case on Constitution. They would never hear him. They would never yield to him. He never won a case. Attended to the grand jury as a witness, by the way, he's protected, about what happened in 1968. The Legislative Council of the Province of Quebec was illegally dissolved. This was unconstitutional. The disbanding of the council, in fact, created an 11 infraction contrary to the Constitution. Remember the article that I read just a moment ago. Render inoperative any contrary provision, therefore creating an illegal structure called the National Assembly of Quebec. Therefore, the province is not part of the country, and there are people elected in that province to go in Ottawa in the name of the province. They're also illegal. Renders illegal the entire government of Canada because they're not government, they're a corporation. The Legislative Council, and this is historic, was put in place to prevent abuse of the Constitution by the Executive Assembly, in other words, the National Assembly. The Executive Assembly now makes law that better serve themselves than the people of Quebec without any legal, lawful, nor constitutional ground to stand on. 1968 coup d'etat, and what is a coup d'etat? It doesn't need to be 1968. A sudden decisive exercise of force in politics, especially the violent throw or alteration of an existing government by a small group, which is exactly what happened. The sudden, forcible overthrow of a ruler, government, etc., sometimes with violence by a small group of people already having some political or military authority. That's exactly what happened to us. It was a coup d'etat. And here we're going to provide you with a grand jury excerpt. Maureen's going to play it. I'm going to take a short moment. I'll be right back.
Okay, let's fix the sound first before we start.
It's going to be okay. The previous one is done that way, so just launch the next one. So this is the grand jury before you get started. This is in fact the grand jury, the one in 2015. We have 39 hours of recording. It's all as boring as that, but here you can notice several things. Paul Leblond first behind the blue keyboard, myself of course the clown of the place, Jacques-Antoine Normandin, which was president of the grand jury, Michel, I remember, I don't know, Ardouin, merci beaucoup. Boy, he's gonna hate me now. My former stepfather, which was secretary there, but also on the stand is right there in the foreground is the criminal code open, because Angèle, when she was presenting her case, I was going through the criminal code. That's how we ended up having 110 charges that were later prosecuted. So yeah, you're gonna hear a little bit. You've got the time, I think, Maureen. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna take a short break.
Donc, écoutez, la session reprend. Je demanderai à l'Assemblée de respecter un certain développement. Donc, les termes, faire attention et tout ça. Vous pouvez poser des questions, mais on est contre Maître Michel Lebrun et Jean-François ici. C'est très important. C'est des questions constitutionnelles, des questions de devoir. Donc, je pense que ça va instruire beaucoup de monde.
Si on a des questions, on les posera après.
Non, même peut-être durant, si ça ne dérange pas Michel ou Jean-François, il n'y a pas de problème. Non, ça va, il n'y a pas de problème. C'est bon? Tant qu'il n'y a pas 10-12 questions en même temps. Non, c'est ça. J'aimerais ça rester ici quand même. Puis j'aimerais ça que le tableau, Michel, puisse l'avoir à la fin du témoin. Oui, avec on protège notre témoin qui est l'accord qui est dans le Canada signataire. Les gens sont donc visibles de toute poursuite suite à leur témoignage, mais seulement quand ils sont assis dans la chaise que là, je sais bien que c'est symbolique la chaise. Mais l'accord de Rome, lui, n'est pas symbolique. Puis la raison
essayer de prouver qu'il serait légitime d'être là, parce que c'est ça le but d'un grand jury, c'est de voir s'il y a matière à l'enquête criminelle. Donc, François, lui va parler de ce qu'il va parler, je vais lui laisser faire, et je le sais très bien que c'est mon sacré, alors, moi je vais aller m'asseoir dans le public. Pour lui, je ne devrais pas avoir un intervenant comme les autres, il n'a pas sollicité mon assistance, donc je vais m'en retrouver assis dans ces chaises-là, je n'aurai pas grand-chose à leur dire, là, ça va être criminel. Je m'en occupe, c'est avec Michel Delay, je m'en occupe. Qu'est-ce que tu as besoin de protocole?
Étant donné que
tu es là, tu me can forward it now. Oh, by the way, pause it. Just to let you know that this table is this wide, this is one of the stack, this is Denny's file only.
Oh.
We're getting short on, so 5 minutes, okay, we'll let this slide finish, thank you. We're going to take a short break within the next 5 minutes. This is Michel Lebrun, former Bar Association lawyer, protected witness, which is explaining to a grand jury how they've done their thing.
Alors, en 1867, a été créé, ou a été adopté l'acte constitutionnel de 1867 par le Parlement britannique. C'est important cette distinction-là parce que ici, ça se passe seulement en Angleterre. Et de l'autre côté, ici, c'est ce qui s'est passé au Québec. Alors, en 1867, ce qu'on crée, c'est pour le Québec, c'est le lieutenant-gouverneur avec le Conseil législatif et l'Assemblée législative. À ce moment-là, en 1867, il n'y a pas de loi ici. Il n'y a pas de loi provinciale à ce moment-là. C'est vers les années 1886 environ que le Québec va décider de faire une loi provinciale sur la législation. Alors, ils vont reproduire une photocopie de ça. Et puis, ils vont dire que c'est le Conseil législatif, c'est l'Assemblée législative. C'est important cette distinction-là parce que, avec jusqu'en 1931, on ne pouvait pas changer les lois, on ne pouvait pas modifier les lois britanniques. En 1931, il y a eu le statut de Westminster où, à partir de ce moment-là, les colonies du Canada pouvaient changer ou modifier les lois britanniques qui étaient imposées au Canada. Sauf une qui était cette loi-là, la loi constitutionnelle de 1867, qu'on ne pouvait pas toucher. Et les articles qu'on ne pouvait pas toucher et qui nous touchent finalement, en gros.
So, he's saying that they can modify their internal provincial constitution, but they cannot touch the BNA Act. It's not theirs. So that's what he's saying. So I will read that and then we'll take a short break. It's very powerful. This is a judgment from the Supreme Court related to the secession of Quebec, but I warn you, it applies to each province or anybody, any other clown will try to do against this. Quebec does not have unilateral right of secession under the Constitution of Canada. However, a clear majority voting on a clear question on Quebec's secession would entail a constitutional obligation to negotiation with other player in the Canadian Federation. Moreover, under international law, Quebec does not have unilateral right to secession. Is that clear enough? Nobody can split from Canada unless they've been, of course, But Quebec is not being bullied. They're very much part of the process of governing Canada, having named the immense majority of the Canadian prime ministers and much of the important minister over the last year. So it's not like Bosnia that was destroyed by Chechnya or something like that, where they get bullied and their people don't have right to occupy any function. They don't have it. It's not like that. Canada was a good country to live in. Quebec was not badly treated. They still wanted out. They could not do it. and they cannot do it to this day. Alberta cannot split from Canada. So there will be clowns that will tell you that you gotta make, because there's a constitutional issue, you gotta make 10 countries out of the province, and then they gotta get together and sign a new constitution. These people are clowns, they're fooling you, they're part of the problem, not part of the solution. Province were never given the power of being country. They can have their internal constitution, but it cannot be over the Constitution of Canada. So on these words, let's take a short break.